Gold. The ultimate safe haven in times of economic turmoil has been sold down massively. This creates a potential opportunity of a lifetime to purchase quality gold stocks at discounted prices before the upcoming boom. I'm Biko Konstantinos, and that's what we're going to talk about today. If you enjoy quality, independent, and up-to-date market analysis, crack this video a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Together, we can educate ourselves on everything that's going on. And there's a lot going on. Now let's see what's happening with gold, and why this current sell down could present a very unique opportunity.
Listen, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Now looking at the gold price chart, we can see this very strong resistance level around 2000. We had the post-COVID peak in August 2020 that hit around 2070, and then we saw a decline and a consolidation, and recently we've had two attempts at 2000. The first in March 2022, where we hit the all-time high level around 2070 but quickly retraced, and then there was another attempt in April 2022 where we hit 2000 but we traced from there, and this retracement has been quite sharp. Now looking at that first chart, you might think it looks very bearish for gold, but when you widen out and look at the big picture, things don't look bad at all. The weekly chart of gold shows that the trading levels are very high compared to the average over the last 10 years or so. Now when you have a very strong resistance level like we do at 2000, it's healthy when there's consolidation that occurs, and the more attempts that are made and failed can lead to a bigger breakout when it eventually happens. So when I look at these tests and failures, to me it's like a spring that's being slowly pushed down and ready to push the price higher at the right time. Now let's compare the gold price with gold miners. This chart looks at the percentage moves since May 2021. The gold line represents the gold price in US dollars, and the red line represents the Van Eck Gold Miners ETF, which is the largest gold mining ETF in the world. What's very clear with this comparison is that the gold miners move in much greater percentages than the actual gold price. In early 2022, gold stocks were languishing. However, they went on a very strong run all the way through to March 22, and then an even stronger run to April 2022. That coincided with the second test of US 2000, potentially in anticipation of a breakout. As that breakout didn't end up happening, gold stocks have seen a dramatic sell-off all the way down. This has coincided with a major stock market decline, but gold stocks have fallen in much greater percentages than the major indexes. So gold mining stocks make some very big moves, which is why they can be so lucrative. They're often swinging from overbought, so pushing up too high too fast, to oversold, where they get sold down to ridiculous levels and valuations. If you can buy quality gold miners when the price gets pushed down way below their fair value, then the returns can be amazing. Why do I think this could be the opportunity of a lifetime to buy gold or gold stocks? Firstly, I'm very bullish on the price of gold. When the price of gold makes brand new all-time highs, it's extremely significant, especially if that breakout was many years in the making. When we had a high in 1980 around 800 US, the price consolidated for many years. However, in 2007, it broke well above that level, consolidated back, and then went on an amazing run from around 800 all the way up to 1900 in 2011. So the gold price more than doubled during that period, but gold miners or gold stocks would have risen much more higher multiples. They could easily rise 10 times with a major move like that. Now I see a similar pattern occurring since the high of 2011, where we've had a decade-long consolidation period. To me, we've already seen a breakout above this 1800 level, and now we're seeing consolidation before what I believe will be the next major move upwards, which in my opinion could be extremely large. Now I want to consider what the gold price did in two past periods. When the COVID sell-off occurred in the stock market, the gold price accordingly was sold off from about 1700 down to 1450. This sell-off occurred over a couple of weeks, but the gold price quickly retraced, consolidated above the pre-COVID levels, and then stormed up above 2000. My consideration frustration with this price action was that yes, the gold price was sold off in line with the broader stock market sell-off, but it rose back the quickest and the sharpest when everyone was considering the implications of the COVID pandemic and the potential for soaring inflation. The current sell down in the gold price hasn't been as sharp as what happened during COVID, but I do see similarities. Gold is falling in line with the stock market and the crypto market, but these declines could be short-lived and we could make up those declines very quickly, similar to what happened after COVID. Next, I want to consider the great inflation of the 1970s. So during the 70s, inflation in the US ranged from 5.5% CPI to 14%. So inflation was the highest in 1979 and 1980, and if we look at the chart of gold during that period, it practically went straight up from around 200 all the way up to over 800 US dollars. To have a move like that in 1 year is incredible. So I point this out because we're currently in a soaring inflation environment. The US is now running on a CPI of 8.5%, and many are predicting this could rise over 10% in the next few months. So more and more our current environment of high inflation and low economic growth is looking similar to what occurred in the 1970s, and this could result in a massive run to gold. So we've looked at the charts, now let's consider what's happening across the globe. Inflation is soaring in nearly every country, with most countries seeing the highest rates of inflation in the past 30 to 40 years. Making matters worse, we've got the geopolitical risks from the Russia-Ukraine invasion. The crypto market has fully crashed, with many cryptocurrencies down around 80% from their highs. The stock market has fallen sharply and is looking extremely bearish. That bearishness should translate across to the housing market, which I expect to result in house price declines, which could end up being quite significant in the most speculative areas. So all this will most likely result in a recession or low economic growth, which could last for years. So all of that does not look good for the global economy. People are going to be looking for ways to protect their money or their investments, and that's where gold can really shine. Gold is the ultimate safe haven for periods like this, and we just saw the recent example in the 1970s, which had many similarities to our current global predicament. So these next few years could be the time for gold to really shine. And if it does, you could do extremely well by holding quality gold mining stocks. With the recent sell-off, this really could be an opportunity of a lifetime. But of course, there's no guarantees in the market, and you need to be aware that gold stocks tend to be quite volatile, which is why they tend to have a greater risk, greater reward profile. That's my thoughts, but what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and since you're here, why don't you subscribe to my channel? I would really appreciate having you on board. I'm Biko Konstantinos, and I'll catch you in my next video.